Welcome in. And today I'm going to describe to you how Devil Dinosaur, or Devil Dino, is good for the game. Is actually very well designed. He's not bad for the game. Now let me start to explain a little bit, first, on how people view him. There's been a popular narrative going on right now that he's not healthy for the game. You've seen these esports players, you've seen these very competitive players say he does not belong in Marvel Rivals. Let me just put this in perspective. They think a dinosaur doesn't fit into a game with a talking tree, a talking raccoon wielding a minigun, a mini shark who sprays water at people, a blind lawyer who dresses up in a devil costume, who can see through walls, multiple gods, a person with spider powers, but the one who sticks out the most is a dinosaur. This game isn't meant to be Call of Duty, at least in the older ages, because now it's kind of like all over the place. But it's not supposed to be serious. It's not. This game is Marvel Rivals. We're not supposed to have like a Punisher every single character. Saying he doesn't belong is really showing you haven't been paying attention to any of the other characters in the entire game. If a talking tree can be a tank, so can a dinosaur. And it's just like, this is why I don't like popular narratives and like the higher ranked, very competitive scene. Now getting into his strengths and weaknesses, I think Devil Dinosaur is probably one of the most balanced new characters we've ever had. It's not like an Elsa, which is hard meta. It's not like a Black Cat, which is hard meta. It's not a Gambit, which is hard meta. It's not a Daredevil, which is hard meta. It's not an Emma, which is hard meta. The only thing they can really compare to the strength-wise when they came out to Devil Dinosaur was probably Angela or Invis. Those two relatively were pretty balanced when they first came out. Both of them got buffed afterwards and now they're pretty strong. I think Invis is balanced if not slightly undertuned now. Just a little clarification right there because I know a lot of people are still going after her after the stray nerf she got, but anyway. When Invis first came out, she was pretty balanced, I would say. Same with Angela. She got, I think, a buff on her ult and her slam back then. But my point is, there's also weaker characters who came out. Let's say a Blade, a Mr. Fantastic, who even now to this day aren't very good. Even though Mr. Fantastic has been getting changed, Blade has been getting changed, they still are relatively weak. And like Torch, he's been meta, but he was pretty weak when he first came out, if I remember correctly. But he's in hard meta and we don't really want a meta Torch anymore. But we never really had a truly balanced new character. And it's kind of funny that the two most balanced characters that ever came out, I'll put White Fox in there too, have been tanks and supports. And the DPSs have either gotten hard of the hard meta characters, or just like weak. With Devil Dinosaur, he has clear strengths and weaknesses. His right click beam has a range to it. You can't go infinite. I've caught myself multiple times trying to get someone at range with it and be like, wait, it's not hitting. And you need to balance it. What I've done with him so far in any game, if I can't reach someone, I do the beam, try to get as many people in a straight line in under a second, kind of like a horizontal slash with it, and then jump at the enemy tank, bring him in, bubble to cut off the healing, and then do my F attack where he just keeps biting and biting and biting, doing so much damage. And that's a clear combo right there. But if you bring out, like, say, a Phoenix who had her damage buffed, a Moon Knight, which is going to be even more players playing Moon Knight with his grapple buff. In a lot of senses, I know what it's like because Loki has a lot of the same weaknesses with all the characters Devil Dino does. With Punisher, sure, you have the shotgun with him, which can be very impressive since you can shoot the shotgun while on top of Devil Dino and kind of one-tap any squishy. And on top of that, with Star-Lord 2, he can one-clip tanks now after his new 10 primary buff. And so every single problem you have is just pure damage. Devil Dino is in a place right now where he's only as strong as the damage is in the game, if that makes sense. If the damage is high, he's going to be weak. If the damage is low, he's going to be strong. And you can say that with a couple of characters in the game. You could overgeneralize it as well and say, oh, all supports are like that, but not really. Devil Dino, more than any really other character in the game right now, benefits off of weak DPS. And in general, just gains and loses his strength if DPS are strong or DPS are weak. And with a Brawl meta getting stronger, with the Dive meta, which has Black Cat who never got nerfed for some reason, with percentile damage on her ult, with Bucky who has a percentile damage with his ult, with all these characters, with Iron Fist just getting more buffs, almost returning to his strongest state, and he's percentile. That's a lot of damage. If Moon Knight's not banned, you're going to be a giant unk and be a detriment to your team. I would say in more cases than not, especially in quick play, Devil Dino is going to be the detriment to your team rather than the benefit. In comp, if you ban, let's say, a Moon Knight, a Phoenix, and a Punisher, you'll do pretty good. There's still other characters which can just melt you because it's a DPS role. They're overtuned, nearly every single one of them, and they're getting buffs because of it. I don't know why, but, you know, that's something else right there. And with his big hitbox, Spider-Man, with his new buff, is going to get played more. He's going to get dragged off the map a whole lot more. And so it's just like, okay, why is everyone complaining about Devil Dino? He is the character which is feast and famine. I know that feeling. I'm a Loki main. Number 49 in the world at one point when I actually played comp. I played 5 games last season, got to Celestial 3 again, 5-0. I really know what that feast and famine type playstyle is, because I have grown to it. I've really conquered it with Loki. And with Devil Dino, I'm really wanting to lord him right now. I already have him level 5, almost 6. And I've only played him for around 2 hours, 2.5 hours now. Ever since he came out about, I would say a day and a half ago, 2 days, something like that. And he is extremely fun. Anybody who says he's broken right now just has to get used to him. What's broken is all the DPS that's been added to the game in Daredevil and Black Cat and Elsa back to back to back. That's broken. That's unfair. Daredevil still has the highest win rate in the game in Celestial and above, I believe, and second overall. Out of DPS at least. And in general too, I think he's number 2, right behind Penny in Celestial and above. That's broken. Devil Dino is not broken. I will say this right now. I predict in the next Hero Hot List or whatever it is for the win rates, whatever it's called, Devil Dino will be in the middle of the pack in terms of tank win rates and pick rates. That is what I believe. So, in the middle in terms of win rates, and slightly above middle in terms of pick rates, because he's a dinosaur, people will love him. That's why I predict right now, he will not be hard meta, he does not need any changing. His ult right now is not an instant win button like, let's say, an Elsa. Like, let's say, any of these broken DPS, they're a tank, they're not supposed to kill everything. His ult is situational like it needs to be. And I really love that, it's a unique ult. It matches his character. It makes him oppressive in his ult, which ults should be oppressive. And even then, he can get shredded out of it. Just give him an Iron Fist, for example. He can shred him instantly with his percentile damage. Just close distance. Use any of your 2 movement abilities with Phoenix and go away. He can't catch you. What about Punisher? If he gets close, just shotgun him in the head 3 or 4 times and kill him. He has clear weaknesses and clear strengths. You should not be wanting nerfs and a emergency hotfix on him like I've seen. He is good right now. I think he is in a very good state. I know it's pretty early, but my opinion right now, and maybe it'll change later on after the season ends, I think he shouldn't be touched. The only thing that maybe should is maybe his overshield by very slightly, but that's about it. He has very clear strengths and weaknesses, and we should not mess with that. Because what the devs will do and what the devs have shown, they will either nerf what he's already weak in or buff what he's already strong in. So you're just going to get more of the same, just amplified if he gets any changes. He's either going to become paper mache or an absolute demon. And do you guys really, for the people who want him to get emergency nerfs, you do realize they've been getting out reparations to all these characters? Look at Phoenix, she got a nerf, she got a buff. Mr. Fantastic, he got a nerf, he got a buff. They're gonna do the exact same thing with Devil Dino. Nerf what he's weak in and buff what he's already strong in. Do you really want that, guys? For the ones who want emergency nerfs to him, do you really want that? Do you really want to take that gamble? Because this is what tanks should be. Unique. Look completely different. Base kit's extremely well designed. The rest of the season is the whole other story. But his kit right now isn't over designed. It's not like a Black Cat. It's not like a Daredevil where you have like 10, 20 abilities. I believe Black Cat has over 15. Right now, his kit is perfectly good. It has a good amount of abilities, good amount of sustain, good amount of variety, and overall, he's just very well designed. And the meta, right now the meta is still Dive and Brawl. Dive and Brawl just got buffed again because, you know, why shouldn't they, I guess? But the meta right now is actually benefiting him. We need to actually experience what he is outside of his own meta to actually say, is he actually good or not? Because let's say Ultron with his one drone, he looks severely meta in the flying meta. Out of that, look how weak he was. And he got a second drone and he's still not nearly up to where he was before. He got an ult buff, which is is super good. And he's still not as meta, and he's not even meta right now, but he's not nearly as meta as he was in the flying meta. And Devil Dino might be the same exact thing. He may be, and this is like hypothetical right now, I'm not saying he is super strong like I said previously, but let's say he's super strong right now in the meta. Okay, take him out of the brawl and dive meta, which heavily benefits him. Bring him to a flying meta, bring him to a poke meta. I know both of those are iffy, but my opinion, I prefer poke over dive any day of the week. I would rather not get deleted instantly and actually have a chance to actually have the enemy use their actual aim to defeat me, not get melted instantly without me really having any reaction time to do so. Especially with Spidey getting alt buff, because he needed that, after having one of the highest win rates and pick rates in the entire game, still shown above in all ranks. And I think in general, all these people are just overreacting on Devil Dino in the video on this. I want to know your guys' opinions on him, because in my opinion, he is extremely fun. The most fun character who's ever came out. His release, in terms of hype to me, is only second to when Ultron came out. Both of them I stayed up all night just to download the game and play him. No other character did I do the same for, and I really love him. I want to make him Lord. He's extremely fun, extremely gimmicky, and overall I think he is a right direction for characters in the game, for new characters in the game. His kit is perfect in terms of size, perfect in terms of how many options there are and how much you can do with it, on how many things you can counter and get countered by. Anybody who says differently just doesn't know balance that well in the game, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next YouTube video. See ya.